माननीय सुजीत कुमार जी, ऑनरेबल श्री सुजीत कुमार।
Thank you, sir. Sir, this is a very important bill. We all recognize and appreciate the need for world-class infrastructure in our country, sir, to meet the aspirations of $5 trillion economy, to meet the dreams of our youth, to leverage the potential of demographic dividend that my previous speaker, Honorable Member Jafar Saab, was talking about. Sir, and to meet this, to build this world-class infrastructure, we definitely need financing. Sir, many developed economies, be it USA, UK, Canada, have legislations which have benefited those countries to meet their need for infrastructure financing. DFI is not new in India, sir. As Honorable Member Jairam Ramesh ji eloquently outlined the history of DFI in our country starting from 1948, be it IDFC, ICICI, IFCI, NABARD, SIDBI. So DFI as a concept is certainly not new in India. We all know that traditionally banks and financial institutions in our country finance infrastructure projects. But banks rely heavily on short-term liabilities, whereas infrastructure projects, because of their long gestation, 20 years, 30 years, even 50 years, are dependent on long-term financing. So exposure to short-term finance, bank finance, also distorts the asset liability equation of the banks, sir. So the other way of financing infrastructure, long-term financing, is through the bond market, is through issuance of bonds. And as Honorable Member Jairam Ramesh ji also pointed out, the bond market in India is not deep, it's not liquid, it's pretty shallow. Now that's a separate argument, why it's deep and what can be done to, why it's not deep and what can be done to deepen the bond market. But as on date, the bond market in India is certainly not in a position to finance heavy infrastructure projects, be it road, be it railway, be it port, be it energy or urban infrastructure. Hence, sir, the need for a bill like this, which will pave the way for setting up of NABID, National Bank for Financing of Infrastructure and Development. This will be the principal development financial institution in the country, which in turn is expected to fill the gaps in infrastructure financing that I just spoke about. Sir, NABID will initially be wholly owned by the Government of India, but its stake will be gradually reduced to 26%. So while diluting the equity is okay, I hope that the government will ensure adequate checks and balances and accountability. Sir, this DFI NABID is expected to create a lending portfolio of at least $5 trillion, 5 trillion rupees, I'm sorry, 5 trillion rupees in about 3 years. This is a huge sum, sir, which will potentially revolutionize Indian infrastructure, generate jobs, boost employment, and lead to a virtuous cycle of economic growth in our country. Sir, in recent years, there were concerns about over a lack of infrastructure financing. The previous DFIs, ICICI and IDBI, have since been evolved into commercial banks. So there was the need for a professionally managed DFI to act as an enabler, provider, and catalyst for infrastructure financing. Against this backdrop, this DFI model has been revived to fund long gestation infrastructures because there has been a spike in bank loans also, sir, in recent years. In any case, banks' liability profile is not suited for long-term funding as they are largely tailored for working capital. Sir,
please conclude now.
Sir, just
please
one more minute,
conclude.
sir. Sir, I'll make a mention of the National Infrastructure Pipeline.
Please conclude.
Sir, one more minute, sir. I'll make a quick mention of the National Infrastructure Pipeline, over 100 crores, 100 lakh crores. So hopefully, this NABID will augment the aims and objectives of the National Infrastructure Pipeline. Sir, to conclude, while setting up of this new DFI in India, through legislative and budgetary provisions is not a big challenge. The real challenge, sir, will be once it is established, to adequately capitalize it, to manage it properly, and to ensure that it's committed to its goals and objectives as articulated in the Statement of Objectives and Returns.
Thank you.
Sir, the Honorable Finance Minister has promised a professional establishment. Sir, it remains to be seen
I am calling
if the
other
government
person.
can avoid macro
Honorable
management.
Sujit Kumar ji, please conclude.
Sir, lastly, sir,
Dr. Banda Prakash ji, please.